The story of Bruce Lee's final moments is one that still echoes with shock, confusion, and mystery. To this day, fans and historians continue to debate what really happened during the last hours of the martial arts legend's life. Bruce Lee wasn't just a fighter, he was a philosopher, a movie star, and an icon whose influence shaped martial arts and cinema forever. Yet his sudden death at the age of just 32 left the world reeling. How could someone so fit, so young, and seemingly invincible be gone in an instant? On July 20, 1973, in Hong Kong, Bruce Lee's schedule was packed with energy and excitement. He was preparing for the release of Enter the Dragon, the film that would catapult him into global stardom. That day, Lee met with film producer Raymond Cho to discuss plans for a new movie, Game of Death. Later, he visited his friend and actress Betty Ting Pei at her apartment to go over the script. Lee complained of a headache and dizziness during the meeting. Betty Ting Pei offered him a common painkiller called Equagesic, a mixture of aspirin and a tranquilizer. Bruce accepted, hoping it would relieve his discomfort. He then went to lie down to rest. Hours passed, and when Bruce did not wake up, Betty Ting Pei became alarmed. She tried to rouse him, but realized something was terribly wrong. Bruce Lee was unresponsive. She quickly called Raymond Cho, who rushed to the apartment. Desperate and terrified, they sought medical help, but by the time Bruce Lee reached Queen Elizabeth Hospital, it was too late. Doctors attempted to revive him, but the martial arts icon was pronounced dead that evening. The world had lost one of its brightest stars. The official cause of death was listed as death by misadventure, attributed to a cerebral edema, swelling of the brain, that was triggered by an allergic reaction to the Equagesic pill. However, this explanation did not sit well with many of his fans, friends, or even some doctors. Why would a healthy 32-year-old suddenly die from a simple headache pill? Was there something more sinister at play? Some speculated that foul play was involved, while others whispered about a curse on the Lee family. Adding to the mystery, Bruce had suffered a similar episode just 2 months earlier, collapsing while working on Enter the Dragon. He had been rushed to the hospital then, and doctors had found he had suffered cerebral edema, but managed to save his life. This raised questions. Did Bruce ignore warning signs? Was his body under too much stress from his intense training, diet, or work schedule? Bruce Lee's death became fertile ground for speculation. Some theories claimed that he was poisoned by rivals or the Triads, Hong Kong's organized crime groups. Others believed that his strict diet, which included avoiding salt and possible drug use, contributed to his collapse. Another popular theory suggested that Bruce had suffered from heat stroke, given the sweltering Hong Kong summer and his already fragile condition after prior episodes. Decades later, in 2022, researchers proposed that Bruce Lee may have died from hyponatria, a condition caused by too much water in the body, leading to dangerously low sodium levels. They suggested that his kidneys could not expel enough water, causing brain swelling. This theory gained traction, but certainty remains elusive. The terrifying part of Bruce Lee's final moments is not just the mystery of how he died, but how suddenly it happened. One moment he was full of energy, joking with friends, discussing his next film, and the next he was gone. It reminds us of how fragile life is, no matter how strong or invincible we may appear. Fans around the world were devastated. News of his death spread like wildfire, and tributes poured in from every corner of the world. Thousands attended his funeral in Hong Kong and later in Seattle, where he was buried. His pallbearers included some of his closest friends and students, such as Steve McQueen and James Coburn. Even in death, Bruce Lee's impact grew. Enter the Dragon was released shortly after his passing, cementing his status as a global superstar. His philosophies, writings, and martial arts teachings continue to inspire millions. Bruce Lee became more than a man. He became a legend. But that doesn't erase the haunting question. Could his death have been prevented? Perhaps, if the earlier warning signs had been taken more seriously, or if medical science at the time had better understood the dangers of his condition, the outcome might have been different. Bruce Lee's horrifying last minutes serve as a reminder of life's unpredictability. The world lost him at the very height of his career, just as he was about to conquer Hollywood. His sudden death left a hole that can never be filled, but his spirit endures in every punch, every kick, and every word of wisdom he left behind. Though his end was tragic, Bruce Lee's legacy remains indestructible, proof that even when the body is gone, the spirit can live forever.